Good morning, all of you. My name is Assistant Professor Isha Ilawar is going to discuss about the bearing capacity of the soil. In the last class, we will discuss about the basic introduction of shallow foundation. Now we are going about the derivation of bearing capacity of the soil and some of the important formula related to the bearing capacity of the soil. The failure is generally occur in three types. First one, general shear failure. Second one, local shear failure, and third one, punching shear failure. First of all, we will discuss about general shear failure. For general shear failure, we have a general formula for strip footing, that is QU is equal to QF CNC plus zero point 0.5 gamma B N gamma plus gamma dash NQ, or generally gamma dash is equal to gamma into D, that is the overburden pressure. Here we know that NC, NQ and N gamma, these are the general factors. C is here cohesion and gamma is the density of the soil. D is the depth of the footing. For the square footing, the formula is just change. In place of CNC, we replace that 1.3 CNC, and in the place of 0.5 gamma B NQ, we replace that 0.4 gamma B into N gamma. For a circular footing, it is also change, and the formula is now become 1.3 CNC. In the place of 0.4, we replace 0.3 plus gamma dash into NQ. For the rectangular footing, the value of 1.3 is changed 1 plus 0.3 B upon L CNC, and then the place of the 0.3 we replace that 1.2 B upon L into 0.5 gamma B into N gamma plus sigma dash NQ. These are the formula for the general shear failure. Now the formula for local shear failure. According to the Tarjagi, the remolded shear strength of the soil in the local shear failure, C dash, we replace C dash is equal to 2 by 3 C. C dash here is local shear, and the 10 phi will be equal to 2 by 3 10 phi. So the phi dash will be equal to 10 inverse 2 by 3 10 phi. The formula is changed for the strip footing. QU is equal to QF 2 by 3 CNC plus 0.5 gamma B NQ plus sigma dash NQ. In place of the square footing, all the values will be same. We just change the value of C dash, that will be equal to 2 by 3. The formula will change for the square footing. After the formula will change for the circular footing, and the formula will change for the rectangular footing as well. Here we can see NC, NQ and gamma is the bearing capacity factor, which are dimensionless, mainly depend on the angle of repose of the soil below base of footing. According to the Tarjagi, if phi is equal to 0 for the fully saturated clay or pure clay, the value of NC is equal to 5.7, N gamma will be equal to 0, NQ will be equal to 0, then net ultimate bearing capacity will be equal to QU minus gamma dash, and the formula will be CNC 0.5 gamma B NQ sigma dash NQ minus gamma dash. Here the value of NC is equal to 5.7, the value of N gamma is equal to 0, and the value of NQ will be equal to 1, and the formula will be equal to 5.7 C. So here we can easily see, if the soil is fully saturated and the foundation is strip footing, then the formula of net ultimate bearing capacity will be equal to 5.7 into 7. If the value of gamma df is given, then the value of the gamma dash we will put here and find the safe bearing capacity. For net ultimate bearing capacity, the formula will be 5.7 C. Q is independent of the shape of the footing resting on full saturated soil. Here Q NQ is equal to 1.3 into 5.7 C. 7 C for square and circular footing independent of the size of the footing. So we can change this formula for, here the formula, this formula is for the strip footing, and the formula 0.7.4 C for strip footing as well as circular footing and square footing. In case of sandy soil, the value of Nc will be equal to 0 and the value of N gamma will be equal to 1. So solved as the formula in the terms CNC will be equal to 0. Here the 0.5 B into gamma into N gamma. This formula for the strip footing, 0.4 for the square footing, and 0.3 B N gamma for a circular footing, and the last one for the rectangular footing. Here we can easily see the value of Q strip is greater than Q square and Q square is greater than Q circular. It's depend, the value of Q is depend on the size of the footing. Okay, is depend on the size and shape of the footing. If the shape of the footing is stiff, the bearing capacity will be good, net ultimate bearing capacity will be good. If the footing is square, the net ultimate bearing capacity will be good. If the is circular, it's also very good. So here we can easily see the different formulas. According to that, we divide that soil. If the soil is fully saturated, then value of N gamma will be equal to 0. If the soil is sandy soil, then C will be equal to 0. According to that, the formula will change and the values will be changed. For first case, the formula will be 5.7, and that formula we will multiply 1.3 for square and circular footing, and here the value of CNC will be 0 in the case of the sandy soil, and the formula only the values of 0.5 B gamma into N gamma will come out to be in seen, and the formula will change for the different footing. And we can easily see here the value will directly depends on what, this value will directly depends on the shape of the footing. Okay, now footing resting on the sandy soil and water table rise up to ground level, the value of gamma and gamma submerged, where gamma submerged is equal to half of gamma saturated, and hence the bearing capacity reduced by 50%. Means if the water table is reduced above the groundwater table, the bearing capacity of the soil will reduce 50%. In general case, if the water table is near the ground, then the bearing capacity is given by the relation Qu is equal to CNC 0.5 gamma into NQ C 5 dash NQ. Now with this formula will change CNC. Here we will add the water table RW1 and RW2. RW2 is the reduction factor below base, RW1 reduction factor above the base, and the formula is 0.51 ZW1 divided by B, 0.51 plus ZW1 upon D. ZW2 and ZW1 is the depth. Now here we can easily see the varying capacity of the soil will directly depend upon general shear failure and local shear failure. Now this is the basic difference between general shear failure and local shear failure. It takes place in dense sand and hard clay. It takes place loose sand and soft clay. Means the general shear failure is generally occur in dense sand, and the local shear failure is generally occur in loose sand. Second one, in this case, first of the building take place and then it fails in shear. In this case, heavy compression take place and then little bulging and fails in shear. Means first, in the case of the first, the whole load is taken by the foundation and it will fail in the brittle case. In the second case, the soil will fail just like a ductile failure. Firstly the whole building will settle and then it will fail. But in the first case, the building will not settle. One portion will settle and other portion will above the surface. Means the differential settlement will occur in the general shear failure. In the case of the local shear failure, there will no differential settlement. In the case, value of phi should be greater than 38 degree. In the case of the local shear failure, value should be less than 28 degree. In this case, strain developed in soil is very low, less than 5%. In this case, strain developed is high, 10 to 20%, because the soil is loose and the change of length of the soil will be greater. In this case, the void ratio E is 0.5, and in the case of local shear failure, the void ratio is 0.75. These are the some other values This will we will discuss in later case, and next class we will discuss plate load test and some of the numerical part of the cello foundation. It is enough for today. Have a nice day.